mamas? Welcome back to another episode. We're your hosts, Amaris and Kathy. How's everyone doing today? Happy Thursday.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast.
So today's episode is going to be a little different. While Mother's Day can be beautiful, it can also bring a lot of complicated feelings, grief, sadness, and memories that aren't always happy. We want to hold space for every mom, every daughter, every woman who's carrying heavy feelings into the Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah.
So in brief, our topic is the other side of Mother's Day, grief, loss, and hope. As you know, Kathy frequently talks about her infant loss. And just to bring light, we want her to continue to share her story.
Yeah.
And then as well as my perspective as a daughter witnessing my mother's grief when she lost her mother, and how our first Mother's Day was without my grandma, Kathy's first Mother's Day without Liam.
I feel like a lot of moms that have dealt with, such grief don't get that, I guess, recognition or validation. Right. They feel forgotten. So like Amaris said, we definitely want to hold space for those moms because we don't want you to feel forgotten.
So, and I also feel like it's not talked about too. Like you always see like Instagram posts like Happy Mother's Day to those, and it's always like pretty much the topic that we're talking about. So why not like have this heartfelt conversation? And do you want to get started?
Okay. So I remember, when I was pregnant with Liam, I remember being so excited about my first Mother's Day, like just so like looking forward to it and what that would look like. And then, obviously I lost him, and Mother's Day was really, really hard for me, not only because I didn't have my baby, but also because I felt forgotten. Like, I just, like, there were a few people who had reached out, like, I'm really, hope you have not hope you have a good Mother's Day, but I'm thinking of you during this Mother's Day. But like I don't think I got like a happy Mother's Day from like my stepson at the time, which, he was young at the time, but even like little things like that, or close friends, it just made me feel weird because like I kept thinking, okay, well, like I'm not really a mom.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was maybe like in my own head about it, not getting that recognition, I guess, but it was a really tough one to swallow for sure.
Yeah, I think I remember that time coming, and I was like, I think we were all debating whether or not to say something because like we weren't sure if it was going to be triggering or if you wanted your space.
It was just such a confusing time.
Yeah, it definitely was. And I know from like our side, like we were all talking about it, like should we say something? And we're like, I don't know. Like we were all kind of going like back and forth, and I actually don't remember. Did I reach out to you?
You probably did, but that time was such a blur that I really don't remember. I don't remember anything.
Yeah, I don't, like, the only thing I remember was us just talking about, like, what we should do. But, like, besides that, like, I can't think past that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't even, I didn't celebrate it. Like, I don't even think I saw my own mom on Mother's Day. I honestly, it was such a blur. Like, that was just such a hard time for me that a lot of memories are kind of, I don't know, vague.
Like
blurred out. Yeah. Like bits and pieces.
No, I'm sure. What was your first thought when you woke up on Mother's Day that year?
I was just very sad because I was like, well, I'm not going to be celebrated this year.
Yeah.
That was my initial thought. And it was just really, really tough, girl.
Yeah.
It was really, really hard. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Like I said, it was something that I was really looking forward to it. And then just having that reminder, like, it's Mother's Day and we're celebrating all these moms, but like, I'm not being celebrated. Like, that was really difficult for me to grasp.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. I have some other questions to ask you, but before
Yeah, of
okay,
course.
I
Yeah,
don't,
that's
I'm
fine.
trying to tread lightly since it's like
No, girl,
it's
that's perfectly fine.
okay. My next question that I have
Yeah.
is, did you feel pressure from others to celebrate even though you were hurting?
Um, I don't think so. I think it was still so fresh that people understood. I don't think there was any pressure, especially from my parents. Like they were like I said, I don't think I saw my mom that year. Because everyone knew. Everyone
Right,
knew how difficult it was for me.
right.
So,
Um, that year, was
mhm.
there anything someone did or said that really stuck to you, whether good or bad?
Um, well, I had this one friend, and I'll give her a shout out. I don't talk to her anymore, but Evelyn. She was the one person who reached out to me on Mother's Day, and um, she was like, I don't remember exactly what she said, but she said, you know, I'm thinking of you, and just know that you're always gonna be a mom, like no matter what. Like just because you lost Liam, like that doesn't make you less of a mom. Like you're always gonna be a mom, and
Yeah,
she was like, I'm thinking about you today, and it's okay to be sad. Like she sent me this long,
that's
and
so
that really
sweet.
really stuck with me. I still think about that message till this day. I wish I had saved it.
Yeah, no, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice that she did that.
Mhm.
And like the last question I have for you is, looking back now, is
Yeah.
there something you wish you could have told yourself that day?
Something I wish I could have told myself. Um, just to sit with my feelings. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's all I could really tell myself. I was holding so much in at the time and bottling up so much that I should have just like allowed myself to cry a little bit more on that day if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, like give myself a hug. I don't know.
Right, right, right. Just to tell yourself that like
Yeah, like
it's okay to
it's
have these feelings. It's okay to
yeah,
cry a little extra
yeah.
today. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And just tell myself that like yeah, you are a mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I've always felt that you were a mom, and I think that was one of the things everyone was going back and forth on. And I was like,
Yeah,
she is a mom. I'm like, just because she doesn't have her baby does not mean that she's not a mom. And
yeah,
I think the moment I said that,
yeah.
everyone was like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, no one talks about
Hmm.
when mother, what like, okay, so you know how like when kids lose a parent, they're like orphans or orphans,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah,
orphans, or when
yeah.
wives lose their like husbands, they're
They're
like
widows.
widows.
Hmm.
What are women called when they lose a
Yeah,
child? There's
right.
no word out there. So
I didn't even think about that, but you're right.
I almost feel like that's what's wrong with society. There's
I
no
agree.
word for that. We have, oh yeah, I'm a widow. I was an orphan or an adoptee. What's
Hmm.
the terminology for when a parent
Yeah,
loses a child?
right. And
You know?
it reminds me of when people ask me like, how do you have any kids? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to explain like that, like you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like before I had Grayson, like people
Yeah,
would
yeah,
ask me
yeah.
like, oh, how like do you have any kids? It's something that's very difficult to explain, especially like my
Mm-hmm.
situation.
Yeah.
But even like I don't know if I shared this with you, but when I lost Liam, and this is very random, but this is something that was just constantly reminding me that I had gone through that loss, but like I was a mom, but no longer a mom. I my I was lactating after I lost
Right.
him. Like
Right.
that was so strange, and for like it was just a constant reminder, like why am I producing milk and like I don't have a child, you know?
Right.
That was
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was like really hard, and like I had to have my mom help me um like dry them.
Yeah. Um, do you did you listen to the latest episode of Barely Famous?
The last one I listened to was with Jerry, what's her name? Jerry Hollow or something. The girl, Ginger Spice.
Oh, okay. So it's the one that was released this past weekend.
Okay.
It's about one of her like lifelong fans who experienced infant loss, kind of similar to your story, but she was full term. And I mean, I think her story, like I was listening it to it last night, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it's kind of crazy how I'm listening to this episode now, and we were gonna come in here and like talk about this. And one of the things they said was, do you hear my kids going batshit crazy?
It's okay.
Sorry about that. One of the things that she said is that no one talks about infant loss as much. Like there's not much light ahead of it, and she doesn't know if it's because people don't know how to talk about it or if they don't want to talk about it and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's that people don't know how to talk about it.
Right, and they're unsure how people will their perspective on like hearing the information.
Yeah.
I just had a brain fart because both my kids
it's
are like
okay.
crying.
Take your time. Oh no.
That's definitely Cirilla. That girl's been crying like almost all day.
Oh, she's having a tough.
She's having a.
Do you hear my dog barking now?
Yeah.
The fuck.
All right. So back. What was my point?
What were we saying? Oh yeah, that infant loss it's not talked about.
Yeah, infant loss isn't talked about. So I just feel like we need to do more. We need to talk about that more, so like more women can feel less alone. Because I know when everything happened with you, you were in like Facebook groups, like not looking for answers, but looking for community.
And and comfort. I feel like I could do a better job at like bringing awareness to it, and like I want to. I just don't know how.
Yeah. No,
I really want to. I'm kind of like in this weird I don't know, I guess transition with my content creator journey. Like it's about to completely shift.
Yeah.
And like I don't have the desire to do coffee videos. I don't have the desire to do sourdough. Like I just want to talk about motherhood. Like out of nowhere, I'm just like I just want to talk about motherhood.
Right.
And I also want to hold space for Liam and bring awareness to that, because I feel like for a while I was sharing on my YouTube and then I stopped. And I want to continue, bringing light to him. And I just don't know how. Maybe I'll ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, ask ChatGPT, because they're like amazing breaking it down and like everything. Like breaking down this episode, it asked me like, do you want me to create questions for you that are very light and soft? And I'm like, yes, please. Please. And I like the questions they came up to me. But
I love that.
Yeah, no, take your time. I
want to bring awareness.
Yes, yeah. However it is.
Yeah, I know there's other moms that are like just feeling alone, and they don't know how to share their story or reach out to others. Like, and I want to be that person that is open and vulnerable and shares her story. I'll figure out a way how, because I feel like it's important. It's not something that happens like, I mean, losses happen every day, but I don't know.
No, I think I get what you're trying to say. Like, it's not like it happens, but it's almost like it's not talked about because
it's not talked about.
It's such a heartbreaking thing to like happen, and sometimes there's no answers as to why it happens, or you do find answers, and it's like, well, how did that happen in the womb? Like, like just like how? So I feel like because there's no, I don't want to say end game, but like a resolution to like why it happened, people don't want to talk about it.
Right.
One of the things, or sometimes people just want to forget about it, which that's okay too. That's okay too. But I will say I'm very happy where you are today with your mindset and everything. Because I know at first, like, you didn't ever want to talk about it.
There was a time,
little by little, you were like opening up, and like that's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. You go through waves when you go through something like that. Like I remember when I lost Liam at the hospital, like they handed him, I don't want to see him. I don't want to hold him. And I held him, but I wish I like held him longer. And I wish, like, I don't know, I took a photo or something. Like I just hated life in that moment. And then after, like, I met with my high risk doctor, like I started to have hope again. And then like that's when I really started posting like YouTube videos and bringing light and awareness and sharing my story bits and pieces here and there. And then I just kind of stopped because it's hard. It's something that's like really hard to talk about. Every couple months I'll go through his box of things, and then there's times that I'm like, I don't even want to think about it because it just makes me really sad. So you definitely go through waves of different emotions.
Yeah, and I don't think that's something you'll ever like be okay with, you know, because at the end of the day, like, it is such a heartbreaking thing that happened to you. Like, how can you forget that? How can you let those emotions go away? And I don't know if I don't know if women think that they have to kind of forget about that time. Like, that's a part of you. That's a part of your healing. That's a part of your growth. That's a part of your story. You know, so
for sure.
I personally don't think people should like forget about it just because that's a part of you, you know?
Yeah. I'm glad we talked about this. I didn't even think that we were going to talk about this, honestly.
I didn't think we were going to talk about this either until I'm asking ChatGPT, like, you know, give me, because I'm like, brain fart. I'm like, I can't think right now. Like,
I know. It's the end of the day.
It's the end of the day. Like, what are we going to talk about? And when this came on, I was like, I kind of like it, but let me see how Kathy feels about it. Because I'm still very like,
I get you.
Like, I'm going to stay in my lane unless she brings Liam up.
Yeah.
You
like
know?
You're sensitive to it.
Yeah. Because, like, I'm acting the way how I think I would want to be treated. So, and I feel like you and I have like similar mindsets. So I'm just like,
we do.
I'm gonna try.
No, we got
softly.
Girl, we got each other.
We're like this.
Yes, we are.
But no, I am glad you are opening up more. I'm glad that you're thinking about doing more content about Liam. I think that would be so good.
Yeah.
So good. Because there are times like I'll come across like someone, a woman had like infant death and infant loss, I should say infant loss. And I'm just like, oh wow. And then you'll see the same thing and like you'll send to me, and then I'll see you commenting like, been through the same thing. I'm here for you. And I'm like, oh, Kathy's so nice.
Yeah.
Kathy's so
Thank
nice.
you.
Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Not in this moment. I don't know.
Okay.
This took me off guard because I didn't think that we were going to talk about it. So there's like a lot of like memories are kind of like
coming in. Flushing in. Yeah. So I want to switch gears and talk about the first Mother's Day that my grandmother was in here to like celebrate it. So kind of like a little bit of backstory. My grandmother had Alzheimer's and her mind was gone for like a couple of years, maybe two years. Yeah, like first it was like dementia and she'll lose a member here and there. But I think she was like bedridden maybe for like a year or a little over a year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, like her mind was gone. And at first like it was like a lot, like seeing her for the holidays for
because I guess you knew that her time was coming, but you just didn't know when, right?
Yeah, we knew her time. Once she was like bedridden and she needed 24/7 care, we kind of knew. Like, so we like made sure to celebrate every Christmas, every Thanksgiving at my grandpa's house. And mind you, he lives in a small, tiny 55 plus community apartment in I was about to say the city, but I'm not going to say the city. And all of us are just in there cramped up, just trying to make the best of it because we just knew. And the year that we lost her, it was like a lot for my aunts and uncles. Like it really took them out. So then so she passed away in February and Mother's Day's in May. So I want to say like either beginning of May or like April, my cousins and I we're all females and our moms are sisters. So we all text each other like, how are we gonna make Mother's Day this year a little special for our moms, knowing that grandma isn't here, our moms aren't doing too good, and everyone was sharing like the things that they were doing. And I remember I was in college, so I didn't have any money, and I don't remember too much, but that day was so dark, so gloomy. The weather was beautiful, but like my house was just very dark, very gloomy. I don't know if my parents had a fight. I don't know if my mom was just really depressed, but we didn't celebrate. We didn't celebrate it, and I remember talking to my sister like, should we go out and like get her some flowers, like do something, like dad isn't doing anything. And I don't know if he wanted to do it or again they were in a fight and he was just like, forget this, I'm not gonna do it. But as a daughter, that kind of hurt me because I mean no one wants to see their mom like hurt and like grieving. And I remember going out of my way with Abraham to like Summit Avenue where the florist is at and getting something. And then I remember I think we had went to Starbucks like a week before and I had like a gift card from Starbucks and I got her like a Starbucks tumbler.
Oh, that's sweet.
And I've gotten her a card. I'm not too sure. I just remember it being like very small and minimal. And I gave it to her and she was happy, but like you could just tell in her face she was just so like down and sad. And that's all I remember. But ever since then, it's like celebrating Mother's Day is like kind of weird because every Mother's Day we were always with both sets of like grandparents. We'll do the thing where and for lunch we're going over to my dad's parents and then right after we're going to like my grandma's house. It was like honestly
they were
like
celebrated every year.
They were celebrated every year. And to have it go from like we were always together, like, you know, my extended family and I, to
like what do you look forward to now?
Now we're doing like our own thing. It's like, damn, like this really flipped the dynamic of everything. And I think after a while, like I don't recall us celebrating Mother's Day ever.
Really? Like, you guys never thought like, let's get together, this is what she would like? Or
well, here's the hard part. Like, wasn't Mother's Day always like as soon as college ended, right? I think so.
The what?
When college ended, like the semester.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, around that time, May.
Yeah, so like it was either it was always over before Mother's Day. So we would always come home. I don't remember celebrating. Trying to think after the years and living in Hamilton. Maybe we got together, but it just like wasn't the same because every year my mom would be really sad. Actually, I do remember one Mother's Day year, and I think it was a year after my grandma had passed away. My sister made this huge canvas painted portrait of a picture of my grandma at my sister's 316. And I remember when my sister showed it to me, I was like, oh my God, like that is amazing. That's crazy. And my sister was a senior in high school too. So maybe it was that Mother's Day. No, it couldn't be. No, it definitely was the year after. And when my sister gave it to her as a Christmas gift, we were all crying. We were all just sobbing and crying because we were like, this is different. Like this feels different. This is like crazy. And then I think I'm trying to think if anything else happened. Like I think the only time we were celebrating Mother's Day, like we picked it back up when I was pregnant with Thane.
Oh,
And
wow.
then after that, yeah, that's like, what, 5 years?
Yeah.
Maybe a 5-year difference, maybe a little bit longer.
Dynamics change when someone dies in the family, someone that, you know, you're close with and you build traditions with. Like, that's really, really tough.
Yeah, and I almost feel like everyone in my family, like they were just grieving, you know, they were
Yeah.
grieving my grandma,
Yeah.
because my grandma really was like the glue to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like we all spent so much time at my
Yeah.
grandparents' house. Like we were just
Yeah.
always there. So for that to happen, it kind of just, I think it kind of just put a pause in everything.
Right.
And then at some point, like my aunt did start picking up things back up. So like every year we make sure to celebrate my grandpa's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Since
Right.
my grandma passed away, we always make sure to make space for his
Of
birthday.
course.
And then
That's nice.
even afterwards, like when she was gone, like we still went over his apartment and did Thanksgiving and Christmas just to make, because like, you know, he had lost like a
Yeah.
wife too.
Yeah.
And just kind of being that support for him. But like now that we're all older, we all have kids, we're all like getting married and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We all come together collectively for his birthday at my aunt's house. And I'm really glad we still do that,
Yeah,
because
that's good.
honestly, that's the only time I see my grandpa. I wish
Mm-hmm.
I could see him more. And I think
Yeah.
about like when his time comes, like how much I'm going to
Yeah.
regret it. But I also like tell
Life is so tough.
myself, it's tough. I'm all the way down here. I
Yeah.
have an autistic child. It's not
Mm-hmm.
ideal to bring my autistic child into his apartment, because
Yeah.
Thane has issues being at my parents' house. Like
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't mind going there, but he's like, when are we gonna go?
Right.
You
It's
know,
just like
so
tight for him and a lot
he
going on.
yeah. So if that's a little complicated for Thing, I know going to my grandfather's place
Mm-hmm.
is a little complicated, so it does make me sad, but I kind of just accept what it is, because like it's life.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
to what you were saying before, how like loss changes the
Mm-hmm.
dynamic, it also changes you as a person.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, for
know,
sure.
like I'm sure you don't feel like the same Kathy
Mm-mm.
that you were X amount of years
No.
ago, and I sure do not feel like the same
Mm-mm.
person
Definitely
I
not.
was. Like it truly
Mm-hmm.
does change you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So to anyone that's listening to this, I just want to send you guys like the biggest hug,
Yeah.
and just let you know that one day you're gonna wake up, and that heaviness on your chest and your heart will slightly go away. I think it's always there,
Yeah.
but it's just it's a little less heavy. You
I
know what
know.
I mean?
And that's what I always tell like moms that have gone through loss. If I ever, come across a video or whatnot, is that the pain will always be there, but it gets easier.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're
Yeah.
never going to forget it, but
Right.
it'll be easier to manage as time goes on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I like to say, like, time is what ultimately kind of heals. It's not
Yeah.
forgetting it.
Yeah.
It's not moving past
Yeah.
it. It's
Yeah.
learning to live with pain. Like
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
what
Hmm.
it is. And
Yeah.
I remember like over the years, like I'll tell Abraham, like, because you know how Abraham is, very factual, very,
Hmm. Yeah.
robotic. You know, he doesn't like, I mean, he gets it, but like he doesn't feel it. So like for
Hmm.
instance, like when your
Like,
guys' grandma had passed away,
yeah.
I kept asking him like, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?" He's like, I'm fine." Like
Maybe it hasn't hit him because, girl, we were really close to our grandma growing up.
that's what he says. I was like, "You're in his mind, he was the only one close.
Yeah.
He has no recollection of your relationship with her." I'm like, "Yeah, but Kathy said this." He's like, I don't I think he just doesn't remember.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
can only remember
Okay.
what he experienced,
Right.
so I kept asking him, I'm like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "I'm fine." I and then I told him, I was like, "Do you think it just didn't hit you?" He's like, "No, it's there. I know she's gone, but like," he's just so factual. Like, there's
Gotcha.
nothing I could do.
Right.
Didn't attend the funeral. My mom's not here. Like, no one's here. I'm just moving on
Hmm.
with life. And I'm like,
You know, going back to what you said about like, you know, that you should visit your grandpa more often, but you kind of just, because you know his time is coming soon, but you kind of just accept it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same with my grandma before she passed.
Mm-hmm.
My parents kept telling me like, you got to go to DR, you got to get, get Grayson's passport, because she's been wanting to meet Grayson for the longest time, right? And I kept, like, I knew she was getting sick, but I just didn't think, I thought I was going to have more time with, I didn't think that she was going to die so suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I beat myself up for, is not seeing her before I left. Like, that really breaks my heart.
Yeah.
And I saw her on her birthday. We video called. Yeah, it makes me really sad. Like, guys, go see your grandparents.
No,
Call
seriously,
them,
call
because
them.
you just
Yeah.
never know when their time is going to come.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Like, it really sucks. Like, I do wish that I could have seen her. But
yeah. No, I feel that because
yeah.
was it last year? Was it last year that I thought I was gonna lose my? I think it was last year.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna lose my abuela,
Mm-hmm.
but like she's fine. I mean, she's not okay, but like she's alive. And then I think the following year we thought we were gonna lose my abuelo, and I remember texting you like, I'm so sad, I'm sobbing, I feel so bad for like my grandmother, this is insane, but he's fine. I mean, he's still alive, but their time was also coming too, and I'm just like, oh shit. Like, what I'm scared about is that the three of them, because I have like my parents, my father's parents, and then my father's mother. So I have like three people. Right. I'm like, okay, I hope they don't go at the same, like around the same time, because
that would be horrible.
I think mentally I would have to be okay, because like I have kids, and like one of my kids is autistic, so I have to be regulated the whole time if I want him to be regulated. So I almost feel like when that time comes, I might just have this like shock, but then kind of like switch gears and then think about like my dad, my mom again. Like my mom is not in the greatest state of mind. Like, I'm just gonna put it out there, because she lives with my grandparents, her in-laws, and she kind of has to help them out and stuff like that, because they can't do everyday living. Like, I think she cooks for them now because they have like dietary restrictions. And when both of my grandparents were in the hospital at different timelines, she was like, I refuse to go. Every time I think about them dying, I think about my mother. I think about the time that, I had to visit my mother in like the hospital and this and that. Like, so my mom refuses to go. She's like, the moment they're here in this house, I will take care of them. I'll do what I gotta do. But if it's anything outside this house, like absolutely not. And I worry about my mom mostly because she's already experienced that. So I know when the time comes for all three people, like it's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be really heavy for them. And then there's like also other people involved that I have to think about. So I feel like for me, like I'm gonna have to like let those emotions like go and kind of be like an Abraham and kind of like make sure everyone is okay,
Yeah, I totally understand.
Yeah,
life is so weird.
It is. And that's why they say like do what makes you happy, because life is so short. And it's like at first you're like whatever, but then you kind of talk about topics like this and I'm like, oh shit, like
that's true.
I really should stop complaining about my kids waking me up in the middle of the night to come sleep with me.
Yeah. And stressing about like
what I'm gonna post online.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, like when you die, a lot of those like all you're gonna have are like memories, right? So like what's the point?
Right. What's the point of doing all this like
worrying? It's really like, what's the point?
Yeah, no. You're definitely insane. Right. It's insane. Like, we just gotta worry about make sure we took a picture. So and it's definitely like,
I feel like it's a society issue. I feel like it's an America issue because, man, you go to places like DR, for example, and people are just so
They're so
happy. They're
happy.
so
Oh
happy.
my
They're so
God.
grateful. And it's like,
Yes.
I crave that. I really
Me
want to
too.
change. I do, for the
Same.
better.
Mm-hmm.
I have my landlord slash neighbor. She's such a happy person.
Oh,
She
I
lives
love that.
alone and she's
Right.
just so happy. She exudes happiness. She's so grateful and she doesn't have a lot. She's not rich by any means, but
Mm-hmm.
she's just a happy person,
Yeah.
you know? And
Yeah.
I want to get to that
I
eventually, but
know.
it's yeah.
Yeah. No, being in DR, like,
Yeah.
it is amazing. Like, your aunt's there now, and she's like, I can't wait. She tells me, I
Wow.
know the moment I go back to DR, all these medical problems I have are gonna go
Yeah.
away. And
That's
she'll tell you,
amazing.
she's like, I get vitamin Z from the sun. I get something from the salt from the beach. I
That
get
is amazing.
this from that. I could get this from that. Like, she starts listing all these, like, natural things, and I'm just
Yeah.
like,
People have less worry. Like,
yeah, like they just like I remember the one time the one and
hmm,
only time I was there
yeah.
for a week, I was like, yo, this is paradise. Like this, I mean, granted, I was
Hmm.
living with American dollars, so
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I can go a long way, but people in the Dominican Republic are so happy.
I know. And I'm sure it's the same. And, I haven't visited a whole ton of countries, but I'm sure it's the same
Yeah.
in a lot of countries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say. I think I said what I wanted to say.
same. Yeah. My heart definitely goes out to my aunt and my mom, though, this year. I know that's going to be hard for them.
Yeah. I am glad they'll be together.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and
Yeah.
I think that's what they need. They need to be together,
Agreed.
not having to worry about us, the kids,
I
you
know.
know, just kind of just
I know.
in
I
their
told
own
my mom,
zone.
I'm like, when you get there, because she's just constantly worried about my brother and my sister. I'm like, you need
Mm,
just like turn off your phone, like,
yeah.
because my mom is going through a lot of stress. I feel really
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. I feel really bad that she can't come down here. Because my thought process was if your aunt was still here, I wanted to have everyone
I
out here,
know.
would do a nice barbecue.
Yeah.
Hopefully it would have been like nice outside and kind of just like get together. Because I feel like everyone's avoiding getting together because
Mm-hmm.
we might be like sad what emotions are going to get
Yeah.
triggered. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's kind of what happened with like my family when my grandma died. Like we were all like,
Mm-hmm.
hi, how's it? Like I remember like not that it was awkward, I think we were
Yeah.
all just like, what do we do? What do we
Right.
say? This is like
Mm-hmm.
new. This is weird. I remember one time it was like Christmas, and it might have been the first Christmas without her. And one of my estranged uncle was there, and my aunt and my mom like to do like a sibling photo with like their dad, and he grabs one of my grandmother's portrait, and me and my cousin, we like looked at each other because we knew like that was gonna trigger our
Mm.
moms.
Mm.
And from there it kind of I remember just like holding my breath, just like making sure everyone was okay, making sure my mom was okay. Me and my cousin, we kept like looking at each other, and I was just like, why did he
Oh,
do that? Like why
yeah.
did he not? And
Yeah.
it's not that we're like we were trying to forget our grandma and like their mom. I think they just needed just a little bit more time to kind of like have that happen. So
Yeah.
going back to your family, I almost feel like that's like almost the thing, you know. And I feel like there's more guys in the family than there is girl. No, there's an equal amount. There's an equal amount. Yeah. um Abraham would forget, so I almost feel like the vibes for him would be like, I didn't notice anything, and I'll be like pointing
Right.
it out,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. So it's
Yeah.
like I know I would have been like, is everyone okay, is this and that. So to end that rant, because I'm like I went on a lot, I do wish one day we do all get together at some point.
I hope so too.
Yeah,
Like all of us.
all of us, capital A,
Yeah.
all of us kind of just come together.
Hmm. I know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. But I am glad your aunt and mom are together. Will be together for Mother's Day. And then isn't Dominican Mother's Day like a week after or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah. So
yeah.
It'll be good for them to be together.
This was nice to talk about.
This was. I really hope whether people are celebrating or grieving or just trying to survive the day, your feelings are valid.
Yeah.
We're sending you a really big hug.
Our hearts are with you.
Oh, one thing I wanted to like end it with. What are like ways or like small ideas can we give to listeners who are grieving a loss on Mother's Day? The first thing that I thought about was just like thinking about them, like thinking about the person.
Just sending them a sweet little message is more than enough. Just to make them feel important and, validated.
Yeah, and like seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Because I think we've said this before, like reaching out goes a long way. All right, that's all the time we have for today. By the time you see this, it'll be
Mother's Day week.
It'll be Mother's Day week, but it will definitely be May. It will definitely be May. So it'll be May 1st. So happy May 1st. It's a new month.
Yeah.
I don't want to go on a rant. So thank you so much for tuning in, for listening. We're Kathy and Amaris. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Be sure to give us a follow and support us.
Bye, guys. We love you.
Bye.
See you next week.